All right, welcome back.
Oh, we're back?
To the podcast.
We're on the clock.
I guess we are.
We're on the clock.
We are on the clock. Yeah. So, in robot news,
Okay.
Let's do it.
we don't have to.
I
Jake
love
seems
robot-
very.
No. I think I know where this is. I think I know what robot news you're going to bring up here.
I think you do. Researchers, as they do, have made a questionable decision regarding robotics. They have created what is essentially a sort of cyborg moth driver thing. What they've done
Well,
is
the Moth is not a cyborg.
no, but a cyborg though is like an organic creature that is basically
true.
fused
That's true.
with machinery.
Yes.
Right. Effectively, that's basically a cyborg.
Yes.
I don't know. That's probably
Half
not.
man.
I can't wait for all the fucking cyborg researchers to email me next week and explain
Yeah.
why I'm an idiot. But yeah, half man, half moth.
Yes.
No, this
You're referring,
That's-
of course, to the Mothman.
Moth
Yeah,
prophecies.
Mothman. Yeah.
Oh, really? Is that what that is?
No.
Man,
No.
I don't know what that is.
one of
That's
those
not
things-
what that is.
Yeah, that's a movie that's in the video store
That's
that
one
you
of the
see forever.
classic
But that's
video
not what it's
stores you
about.
see forever.
It's not about a half man, half moth that's also a robot cyborg news.
No, this is about a plain old cyborg moth. This is a moth that is like effectively harnessed into an adorable tiny little car that it drives around, and it controls the car. It's like a 5-inch tall little tiny car.
It's
or
got
something.
it's got a
And
little
it-
trackball on it.
Yeah, the
So when
steering mechanism for the car is like a sphere that it uses like a computer trackball to drive it around, and it's sort of like tethered in so that it can't fly, it can't like leave the car. It's like fused into the driver's seat basically. So all it can do is like walk on the trackball, and as it walks on the trackball, depending on what direction it tries to walk in, that turns the steering of the car.
So the moth thinks that it's moving, but it's really controlling a robot that has like smell holes so that it can
Yes.
smell
Yeah, like
where it's
little-
going.
Yeah, so the
Yeah,
idea is whatever its
intakes.
destination is, they put a like pheromone coated beacon at its destination, and the moth smells it and is like, I just want to smell this thing, and it steers towards it.
It looks
and
really cute when it's steering the thing
Yeah.
around too. Like, It looks really
yeah. It
goofy.
looks sort
It's a
of flopping
goofy little
around.
guy.
Just kind of. It looks like it's smiling.
yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
it's real bad.
Yeah, it's terrible. And apparently it is almost as
It's like 20% worse than a regular moth or some number like that. It's
right,
not
but,
bad.
but pretty good, and I'm sure they're going to improve it. Like
Oh, that moth.
a regular moth can walk to the smell like 20% better than
Yeah.
than this thing can like drive to
So
it.
this is actually nowhere near the first experiment like this.
Okay.
In 2004,
I was not aware of such experiments.
trackball-based insect robotics is a thing that I have followed, apparently.
Yeah.
In 2004, there was a very similar experiment done with cockroaches, which is way grosser.
Man, this is some slow-moving science, huh?
Ha, 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 like the bugs that are controlling the cars.
True, Jake.
Yeah, there was the exact same. This is like the exact same thing. I'm sorry, I feel weird about talking about this.
No.
No, okay.
You got
I will
it.
talk
You got
about
me now.
3 notable cockroach-based movement experiments.
Okay. You came way more prepared
Wow.
for this than I expected.
Wow.
One of them is the sound effects from a Super Mario Brothers Kraft macaroni and cheese commercial. No, almost the same test was done, but it was using the vision of a cockroach instead of the smell. It was done like where it would just like look and they would try it would because cockroaches.
I was just imagining like Terminator vision,
Yeah,
but with
yeah.
a cockroach.
Like heat vision.
No. It was driving around on a trackball the same way, and it used. I remember I read that the type of cockroach they use is a hissing cockroach, which is fucking gross. Like it's like
ominous.
they're like it's a big ass cockroach, like a big ass
And it
gross.
drove a little car?
It rode around on a trackball, and then the thing that they use the hissing cockroach because when those cockroaches get annoyed or tired, they go. So the people doing the experiment would be like, "Oh, you're all tuckered out," and then they put a new cockroach in the car.
Wow.
But it was the same idea where they were like, "Can we put it on a trackball so it thinks that it's moving, but what it's actually doing is controlling a robot?"
I mean, it's still moving, but not for the
it
reason
thinks that
it
it's
thinks
moving
it is.
itself. Yeah. There was another one of these that was done in the late 90s. That was an experiment actually intending to help. This is the way more like Cronenbergian one. I think
Right.
this is like. The intent was, can like muscle impulses be used to control a motorized vehicle, which was like, can people who have very limited mobility or like are completely disabled but can sort of tense their muscles up a little bit, move things around. It's like, well, the obvious way to test this is to build a weird, like nightmarish David Cronenberg, Tim Burton bug car where a cockroach drives a tiny wheelchair around. So that happened and apparently worked really well.
Wow. Okay. Do we use that now for
no, I mean,
people?
well, I don't know. The cockroach in that test could not. It didn't have a lot of control over it. It was like when the that's why it's fucked up. Like when the cockroach tried to fly, the wheelchair just drove forward. But the most fucked up one of these is
They need to give them a little plane.
so these are all like ha 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 robot news, hilarious. There's going to be robots that are driven by or there's going to be cars driven by robots. It's like
Right.
maybe like the Moth one. They said it was going to be used for like drug sniffing.
Uber.
Right. It's good. Oh, my sounds like my phone's vibrating because the Uber's here. No, that's just a fucking bug buzzing.
Yeah.
God, the car drives up and the dashboard just has a little bubble on it, like a little glass dome with a little moth.
Oh, is that the sensor? Is that the auto driving sort of sensor 360-degree camera? Is that-
Yeah.
Oh, it's tired. It's tired.
Yeah.
You have to open the glove compartment and put the new hissing cockroach in. And then,
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. Meanwhile, you're in the phone in the back of the car. Yeah, I don't know. My Uber driver's being a real asshole. He seems like he's really tired or disturbed. I think that's the sound they make.
I rate this cockroach 3 stars. No, the really fucked up one of these is the opposite of this, which is, can we put a little metal thing on top of a cockroach and then plug things into it and then put slight electric currents in it that will just make it think that what it wants to do is turn left or right. And that also totally exists. So the cockroach is not driving anything. This is a person.
So what's even the point? Is the cockroach?
This is like literally,
can
can we remote control an insect to go where we want by strapping a little thing to its head?
And then can you have it drive a car?
Yeah.
So that by controlling the cockroach,
Yes,
Put it on
we
the
control
track
car.
wheel.
This Uber's been hacked. It's being driven by a human. Cuts to cockroach on trackball that then has circuitry grafted to its head
Right.
that is then just hooked up to some guy's steering wheel controller.
Hooked up to a guy in VR with a trackball underneath him. I'm playing a video game.
We've interpreted,
like
we've
Moth.
interpreted this
Yeah.
man's trackball signals to the point that we can feed different signals into the brain of a cockroach who will then manipulate
The man
its
is in
own
fact being driven by
trackball
3 cockroaches.
in a trench coat.
Anyway, they call this the gig economy, I think. That's what this is. This is the gig economy.
It's the sharing economy.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
share your vehicle with bugs.
with bug brains.
You know.
Yeah. I was really glad when you mentioned that Moth video because I immediately was like, oh, all that cockroach shit. It's totally relevant.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you guys have seen the maps surely, right, that show like most common job in each state in the United States of America, and
then it's like most
of them
and then you've
are
seen
truck drivers.
Yes, most jobs in America are
Or other
not most jobs. It's
they're-
like it's the number one job.
it's not
is
most jobs.
driving
it is
and
the
delivering.
Right, it's the single highest.
It's the
job
largest slice
in
of
each
the pie
state.
in most states. And then if you look at the graphs of the world that say what is the most biomass by volume, bugs. It's bugs. So I feel like we are definitely going to get.
So yeah, I mean, what's
They're gonna
cheaper to
automate the
pay?
shit out of our
A
jobs.
cockroach or some
some
guy in
guy.
a truckers union.
Yeah.
Yeah, first a robot in a factory powered by moths and cockroaches will build moth and cockroach controllers for cars. Then they're going to install those into the car. But they're going to have to pass the... This is the problem with this, though. Is cockroaches don't really know how to drive. So you're going to have to...
Well, you have to
that's
smell.
the problem.
You have to deposit delicious smells.
Oh, I thought you were going to
at
have
your
to... I thought
location.
cockroaches were going to have to learn, like, the knowledge, like an old London cab driver. So they'll have to know every back road and cross street in San Francisco.
I mean, really what's going to happen is our cities are just going to become really, really smelly. They're just going to have, like, smell routes that will be... like, the car will, like, shoot... smells
It's
out.
going to get really
avenue will
fucked
have
up when the
its
bug
own smell.
when the
Right.
bug
Right.
responsible
Yeah.
for deploying and retracting that smell smells its own smell and then just turns it on.
Right.
We're also just describing the Flintstones here. Let's be honest. This is literally just
This
the
is
Flintstones.
the way grosser, stranger. It's weird that the Flintstones is our future
Yeah.
in the most fucked up
That's not weird at all.
possible way.
Let's be honest here.
That's true.
Well, the question
That's
is, how do
true.
you work toxoplasmosis into this, where you program the cockroach via that virus, and yeah.
Sure.
Well,
Yeah.
when cats get involved and then all of the cars
Well,
just
yeah,
drive
once-
cat foods
Well,
to cats.
right. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they all stop caring about whatever like bug smells they love, and they all just go to the nearest litter box. As your Uber just crashes through some guy's wall. Anyway, courtesy of science.
Yep.
I actually learned about this from Science magazine.
Yeah.
So get ready for a weird world. Maybe eventually the insects that create the robots that create the cars for the insects to drive will just start making robot insects. Like they'll just make little
cut out the middleman. That'll be
really mad.
What a ruinous economy that would make.
Oh, they would just become like that's like a weird person problem with like we made insects, we made robot insects to replace regular insects.
Yeah.
We put the insects out of a job, but
Yeah.
these insects were then built on the legacy system of having to follow smells around, so they'd have to then automate the smell emitters.
Right.
Eventually, then they're going to be fucking pissed when the smell emitting insects are put out of a job to control the robots. When people are finally like, look. We've made the cars not need the insects. The robot insects that drive the cars don't need smells anymore.
We've managed. You're never going to believe this, but we've made a car which does not have to rely on a pheromone smelling insect to operate it. I know that
Look,
seems crazy.
but
within several years, we're pretty sure.
Everyone was really upset when the smell-scenting robot insects took over the smell-scenting insect drivers, but there was still like those guys all got jobs in the like smell pumping area.
Right. Okay.
Right.
But then once those
Wait,
insects
so you're saying they're like pooping out the smells?
No, they're just running the machines.
Okay,
The
yeah.
regular insects that are driving the cars can smell.
Right.
But now they've invented an odorless insect driver, and that's now everyone's truly out of a job once that happens.
Yeah.
Once the
of course.
insect driving the car, the insect will still drive the car. That's how cars work, as far as insects understand.
So it's just the workforce supporting the odor production.
That's gone.
and
That's the
placing.
last thing to fall.
That's what's gone.
It's like
yeah.
when all the toll plazas on Bay Area bridges went 100% fast track. They're like, all the toll collectors, they can have jobs driving a bus. But those buses are clearly going to be driven by a robot next decade.
Right. Those can be driven by a weird, smelly bug driver.
Right,
Yeah.
which is then the next phase that'll get phased out
Right.
too.
Right.
Yeah.
It's a bleak future, you guys.
Yeah, it's real bad. It sounds like, though, someone's going to stay employed for at least a little longer than we might have thought, like bugs.
Yeah. It's really just determining what is like the end stage race. Like, what do they look like? You know,
Well,
are they robotic
here's the
cockroaches, or are they
thing.
robotic people, or are they robotic cats? We don't know. But you can go down the logic
Here's the
chain and
thing.
find out.
I know from when I was a kid, I learned that cockroaches are going to be the ones that outlast everything. And now we
that's
know
true.
why.
That's true.
It's because they're going to be at the top of the food chain in the gig economy.
Yeah, driving the cars.
They're going to be the last people left who are actually making any money off of this
I
shit.
like that you've already normalized them to the point that they're people. I mean, cockroaches, they're going to be the last people left holding up the thing.
Who am I? Chris,
I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said that.
yeah.
Anyway.